Well, hello there, my friends, and welcome to some Wars of Succession here. We had to turn the music off despite this game having a tremendously good soundtrack. It just had to be done. So we could, of course, do the whole grand campaign. We could do the 1709 campaign. I'm going to do the 1706 campaign right here. And, of course, we can either play as the Bourbons, the Grand Alliance, or we could, or I should say the Bourbons, or we could play as the Grand Alliance, which would require us to take control of Madrid and Paris. I am actually going to be playing with the Bourbons at this point, trying to break the morale of the Grand Alliance and establish Bourbon supremacy once and for all here. Now, I doubt I will go through the entire campaign, but that all depends on how much you guys enjoy watching AGEODS live, in which case we might do a lot more AGEODS live as time allows. So the Grand Alliance has taken ascendancy of the Bourbons. French ambitions in Italy and Germany were checked. The Low Countries were the main battlefield, and Habsburg pressures in Spain had led to the loss of Gibraltar, and more embarrassingly by then, of Catalonia and Valencia. The Spanish inheritance of Philip, Duke of Anjou, grandson of Louis of France, was more than ever in Louis XIV of France was more than ever in great danger. Well, we need to do something for good old Louis XIV. But first, we need to find a way. It's been a while since I played the game, to get the good old maps on. Where do I go? We could also play without maps, but I like those. There we go. Overlay. So let's just do show owner of all regions. This lets us know essentially who we're working with, and really what we're facing. The Grand Alliance is all over the damn place. So we're going to need to have kind of separate these armies with Villeroy. That's not what I wanted to do. Just want to separate him so that I can sort of create a new army. His command is 55, is 55, but he's got 68. So we could potentially merge the forces of Tilly here, or we could also merge the forces of Bedmar. I think what I'm going to do instead is, no, once again, you stay to the side, son. I'm actually just going to give him a few units. So some additional musketry, etc. Potentially we can give him a small force of cavalry here. And let's see if he can contend with that. That's perfect. 65 of 68. I'll take it. Now the question is, do we want to face the Duke of Marlborough? I don't know. He's pretty tough. I think what I'm going to do is just send Villeroy to the north. And as for Tilly, we want to, of course, have as strong a force as possible. Let's keep him right here for now. Bedmar, 1924. Tilly, 1723. We don't want to merge these guys. We want to have them work together, if at all possible. All right. Let's defend the glorious Kingdom of France. Welcome, Alexander the Great and Chase Dolan. Good to see you both. I hope you're ready for Bourbon supremacy. Let's take Bedmar's troops. And I'm going to put them... We can keep them here, actually. And with Tilly, I'm going to go over here. And my idea, and I don't know if it's going to work, is to surround Marlborough and eventually strike. Of course, Schomberg could attack us at any point, but we've got some pretty beefy armies here, so let's hope that he doesn't. As for a bunch of other armies here, we've got Marcin, just a tremendous amount of forces which we can use and will want to use as quickly as possible. Alright, the Kingdom of Spain. Let's take a look at how Spain is doing, as a matter of fact. So we've got Felipe V, of course, monarch of Spain here, but we've got the British that have retaken Gibraltar here to the south. That is a problem. We can try to retake it, although I must admit it's quite a tough fort to take. I think instead what I'm going to do is take Philippe V, start moving east to deal with Petersburg here, and we'll go from there. Give me 1 second here. This has to be important. All right, that was my good buddy Carlos, so I will be getting back to him, but let's get back to the fighting. Filippo Castelli How are you doing, my friend? So it's going to take 73 days for him to get here. Tessa might be able to help out a little bit more against Peterburg. So I'm going to move Tessa over here, and again, 47 days. This war did not take just a year. This takes quite a while, and we're going to move into Noailles, but I'm pretty sure that's under enemy control. So we are going to go ahead, and just in case, I'm going to go in very aggressively. Very aggressively here. Ah, that's right. We've got the glorious Hungarians. I hope to see some really nice battles during this fight. Now, let's take a look there. 29 of 34. His command is already pretty beefy. What happens if we merge? Not bad. You know what? Rakotsky can actually take another unit with him. So we're going to move Rakotsky here right outside of Sternberg's area. We want to deal a deathly blow to these Austrians. And I'm going to take Forgach and Bercheny and try and retake this area that's been attacked by the Austrians. So we'll take Forgach here. I'm going to go in immediately with an actual attack. He's got Botyan, a really nice commander with him. Wait a minute, what did we do here? So hopefully he's going to be of use. And I'm going to take Bercheny. I think Bercheny might almost be more useful over here, because I think the Austrians in their actual country are going to have a lot more forces to deal with us. We also have to cross a few rivers, so I will go to the same region here, Pax, with Rakokshi, and hopefully we can kind of do this work together. In the meantime, with any of these additional troops, we'll just try to retake the land taken by the Austrians here. And Vendôme, okay. Do we go straight for Saxony? I think we do. Let me just make sure we don't have any additional units we can bring along. Unfortunately, that's not an option right now. And we can also bring Berwick to assist. So I'm going to move into these forts over here. Oh, this region cannot be entered. One of your units is not allowed to enter the terrain. I'm guessing it's our cannons. So instead, we'll move this way, and we're going to take Berwick and just start pushing into Italy. Slowly but surely. I think that's pretty much all we can do for now. And let's go ahead and end the turn. King Dingo, welcome, sir. Alright, here we go, guys. Ending the turn. Wish me the best, but... Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I forgot the most important part. Gotta take a look here and see if we can actually have any reforms. Right now, all of those reforms and treaties are unfortunately gonna be locked. But in time, of course, we'll actually have some idea of what to do. What do you guys think? Are we gonna be catching any battles this turn? I'm not so sure. We're kind of just surrounding the enemy, so let's see how it goes. Let's see how aggressive they are going to be. And welcome to the Wars of Succession stream. We actually tried to stream through the darkest of times earlier, but nobody bothered to tell good old Agrippa that his mic was not working. So that in the future, guys, if I'm talking, if you're on one of my streams and you don't hear me, I very rarely do videos with no sound. Immediately let me know. And that's, of course, my responsibility. But if you can help me out, help a brother out, as they say, please do. Ooh, 30? Okay, so 30 turns. Or I should say 30 move turns as opposed to 15. With a lot of AGEODS games, you've got 15 days. In this case, each time we end a turn, we're going 1 month. So that is interesting. But I want to get to a damn battle. Show this triple alliance that is the Bourbons that own Europe. It is taking a long time, isn't it? It's typical for AGEODS games, though. Sometimes the in-between turns will take a while, especially if you have battles during the turn. So let's hope that we aren't completely stuck here. There we go, some movement from Rakoczki and Bercheny. I'm really curious to see how good the actual Hungarians are going to be here. If they're going to be helpful or, you know, not particularly helpful during this complete war. We didn't bother to mess with the naval aspect, so I've got to jump in there as soon as possible. Now, with that Spanish Gastaneta right there, there is an opportunity for us to try and besiege Gibraltar, but like I told you before, the British really hold on to that quite strongly, and I think it might almost be a waste of our time. But at least defending it, or having an army near it, as I think is going to be important, because of course the Brits could drop off troops there at any point and try and sack the rest of Spain. That would not be good for us. Now, if the combat's going to happen, it's going to happen in the Netherlands this turn. Netherlands, Belgium, etc. Else I don't think we're going to have any combat whatsoever. A lot going on here. For those of you that enjoy these kind of strategy games, you'll understand that they can be tedious at times. This is one of those times, but all we can really do is wait. Right there, by the way, it looks like our Hungarian army is going to end up falling into a potential ambush. As you guys can see, there's an Austrian army waiting there. I don't know how it's going to go, but we better hope that this goes well for us. I'm going to take a look at your comments here, folks. Sorry about that. Ooh, thank you, sir. All right. So, Alexander says, smash the Habsburg menace. Yes, we must try. And Eric says, hello, Agrippa. Good to see you, buddy. For those of you just joining, we are the Bourbons. So, of course, the Habsburgs are I guess you could say, arch enemies. We've got to make sure that we establish ourselves as the dominant power here. Not a single battle, though, so far. So it's been a pretty relaxing war of Spanish succession so far. Okay, the Saxons are starting to take some of our territory. Maybe we shouldn't have moved that unit away from those mountains so quickly from the Alps. We might need to move an entire army there to the Alps just to make sure that Saxony doesn't do anything silly. We'll have to see. It also looks like that Austrian army did retreat, so we didn't get that fight we were looking for. And if we want that fight, we might have to actually cross a river, so I'm not sure how confident I feel about doing that. Ooh, a lot of movement by the Dutch, guys. We have to respond here quickly. I will go for Petersburg here. I think we can wipe him out. I'm going to be quite aggressive. What a surprise. We're going to take Noëls. We're going for full attack, no retreat. He hasn't quite taken the town yet, and I think that gives me just a little bit of hope. Then again, we've got to deal with Villarroel here. I think instead I'm going to go over here, try to take this area from the enemy. I'll just keep everything very normal, and he's going to be facing the king himself. So you know what we're going to do? We're actually going to stop King Felipe right there so he can actually get ready for the battle here with the Spanish corps rising up against their own king. How dare they, right? Just disgusting. But we'll do something about that, don't worry. We've also got Galway here. Can he move yet? No, Galway is going to be stuck for now. And this is where we need to be very careful, because we see the Dutch actually trying to get past us with Schomberg. I think we have no choice. We have to take Villeroi and immediately attack the Netherlands. We'll make sure that it's an aggressive attack. Ooh, he can't do an aggressive attack. Can he do an offensive posture? All right, we'll at least have him defend the Netherlands. And I'm going to take Bedmar. There's no way we can take on Marlborough. He will crush us. So I'm going to take Bedmar and go north. 28 days to get up there. And with Tilly, you know what? I think Tilly is either going to have to go with Bedmar, or he's going to have to retreat back to Brussels. Oh boy, it's a tough decision. Yeah, let's have him retreat back to Brussels just in case we need him. The rest of these guys, they should get into some fights, but you never know. And let's also deal with that threat over here. We've got, of course, Saxony at war with us. We've got all sorts of different nations at war with us. Let's see if Villaris is ready to go. He can actually take some cannons with him. That is wonderful. Let's go straight for it. In fact, I'll go for Ludwig. See if we can destroy Ludwig outright. And we've also got to worry about Wilhelm here. There's so many things to worry about in this campaign. For instance, these guys breaking through the Alps. I didn't expect this to occur. So now I want to see if Vendôme can actually just move into one of these forts. And because of, I think, his cannons... It's got to be his cannons. Yeah, he can't move with the supply wagons and the cannons. So we might need to leave these behind. I know this is frustrating, but there's no other way around it. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to move. So let's get those supply wagons out of there. And he's going to have to move through the Alps with cavalry, with infantry. It's going to be an absolute nightmare. Let's see if he can... Maybe he can move with the cannons. Let's see. Okay. All right. Maybe that works. Oh, no. I didn't try to move to the fort. No, we can't move with the cannons. Oh, that's too bad. No battles. Quite suspicious, says King Dingo. Indeed. Hopefully we'll get some battles next turn. That's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing next turn is going to be the turn of La Bataille. And let's actually build a depot right there, quite close to Italian territory. We'll get the rest of his cannons out. Sorry, Vendôme. That's going to hurt your combat power just a little bit. And we are going to stop these Saxons from making it through. Did it just say 6,015 days? What in the world? So I guess they would actually have to get on top of these peaks. I'm starting to understand what's going on here. So maybe we don't worry about that at all. We just take Vendôme, go to Berwick here, and not worry about these guys. Our men can probably deal with them. At least I hope they can. With Marseille. Marseille should come with us and get ready to attack over here. He'll also at the same time be able to keep an eye on Ludwig here. And as for the east, this is what I'm really curious about, is our Hungarians. Because we've got some Hungarian units that can pretty much just cause havoc through Austrian territory, which is what we're trying to do. And with other Hungarian units, we're getting prepared to launch an attack against Stemberg. So let's go for it. Rakowski, a hero of Hungary here. We're sending him in, no retreat whatsoever. This is a fight to the death. And Bercheny is going to be arriving as well. He's going to be arriving a little bit late. But that's all right. We can deal with that for now. And for Forgach, you know what I need to do is actually merge him with all of these units. So we'll merge all of these additional Haldin and Hajuks into his army, and then we'll attack over here. Man, so much going on during this war. This really was like... I know obviously we have World War I, but this was pretty much World War I for the time. Just everybody is involved. Let's take a look at what we're doing at Gibraltar once again. And we have other armies here that we could probably move out with. Look at this guy, Aguilar. We're going to move Aguilar up to help us fight these fellows, the traitors to Spain. I might do the same with Vildarias. Vildarias, maybe is how I should say it. You know what? We're going to try to take Gibraltar. Oh, no, that's right. What is wrong with me? We've exchanged Gibraltar to the UK to work with us. So unless they turn against us, I don't think that's going to be a problem. That being said... Oh, wait a minute. Are we fighting? No, we're fighting the UK. Do you see? I know so much more about World War I and II than I do about the War of Spanish Succession. Fairly certain that, yes, we're fighting the UK. So I am going to try to take Gibraltar. We've got 2 generals capable of doing it. We probably don't have enough men to do it, but maybe if we just wait them out, it'll be worth it. Another thing is we should keep our eye on that general right there. We're probably going to have to eventually face him. So you know what? Sorry. Nope. Gibraltar's for another time. We're going to move that Esercito to the north. See if we have any reforms we can pass now. No. I believe if we can get a Tory government in Britain, then Britain stops fighting us, if I'm not mistaken. But the question is, can we get a Tory government in Britain? I'm not so sure. Alright, I'm hoping there are going to be some battles this turn. Hey, Eric Elder. Huh? No hexes, he says. Okay, here we go, guys. Make sure to please hit that like button. I really do appreciate it, and it helps our channel get seen. Also helps this game get seen, so that's another bonus. And let's ride into battle against these Habsburg pigs. Gotta get some glory to the Bourbons here in the chat. We are the Bourbons. We shall conquer the world. We haven't built many supply depots, but then again, we've been fighting inside of our own territory for the entire portion of this war. But very soon, we will need to build some actual supply depots to keep our men properly supplied. Get those, of course, reinforcements in, etc. That is coming, but right now, not much to speak of. Alright, get that gunpowder ready and keep it dry. It's definitely going to have to be used during this turn, unless the enemy breaks and runs and just refuses to fight us. That can happen, believe it or not. What is my plan for this war? Alex is asking. I don't know. My plan is that you guys are proficient enough the knowledge of this conflict that you can tell me what to do. But I definitely want to take out Saxony. I want to take all these smaller countries out first, so I don't have to really worry about them. And of course, stop this rebellion in Spain as quickly as I can. And then, of course, we're just going to have to focus on the massive enemy presence over there currently in the Netherlands, Belgium, etc. If we can beat them there, then I think we can march on Austria and finish this war off. But I think that's going to take quite a while. There's probably a reason this war lasted as long as it did. I think it'll take till turn 15 before a potential gunfight erupts. And again, I do want to apologize, guys. I couldn't have the soundtrack of this game on as I was playing, but I will tell you, the soundtrack of this game is amazing. If you like classical music, Baroque music, this stuff, it's really, really good. So for that alone, I would purchase the game. And if you're an AGEODS fan, then of course even more. Lots of movement here, quite a lot of movement. We can see the guns actually being transported by the British here to Gibraltar. That's got me worried. I think they are anticipating an attack. Yep, something like 13, 14 years, says Alexander Georgievsky. See, I wasn't even aware of that, but that's amazing. Yeah, the British are absolutely pushing into northern Spain. We've got to react to it, and that's why we might have to just kind of leave Gibraltar here. Here we go, first battle with the Hungarians. Their assault against the Austrians at Pécs. A Hungarian victory, my friends, with Ferenc Rákóczi. And as you can see here, he lost 1,450 men, 76 cavalry, but we lost none of our artillery, and we destroyed 1,768 enemy and 167 cavalry. This is actually not an overwhelming victory at all. The enemy retreated knowing they weren't doing so well. We'll actually switch to the detailed battle report here. You could see the men working on our side. They look so much different, of course, than the kind of infantry units and cavalry units that the Austrians have. We certainly look a lot more Eastern, and understandably so. But I'm going to keep attacking. I'm guessing we're going to have to fight another battle there at Pécs. Excuse me. That will not be the first battle fought there, although it looks like he has fallen back. So we are now besieging Pécs, and it's time to bring in that second general to hopefully deal the knockout blow. Because taking this this area of the Balkans would be extremely important to our cause. Can you recruit new units in this one? Now look, even I have difficulties with the AGEODS system sometimes. What I know that you can do is you can reinforce existing units. So for instance, if you have like a detachment that's been badly bloodied, you put them near a fort and you reinforce them. I'm not sure about creating new units. I'm pretty sure in several AGEODS games you can buy new units. But we won't be doing too much of that here. So, a French victory, vive la France, once again, against the Hanoverians. I got a feeling they would attack, and you can see this is just a tiny little conflict here, but we still came out the victors, and smashing these small German states like Hanover is so important. So we've got to go back and just finish them off once and for all. Ooh, we've got some enemies actually pushing into our territory here. An easy French victory against the British there, but as you can see, just 184 men lost. It's also raining in the hills, so we obviously have superiority here. Now, it looks like they're going to try to retreat into France. That's a terrible idea. We might be able to completely annihilate that army, guys. We're certainly going to retake that port city. Not Gibraltar, but the other one. So in these little forts, we're still getting weaponry, and I think these are in anticipation for a possible British attack. But I'm also seeing some Austrian units just kind of skulking through Hungary. Might want to do something about that, but we need that second general desperately to go ahead and assist in the push into Austria. I'm very proud of the Hungarians so far here. Alexander says the Austrians will probably come in with heavier forces into Hungary over time, so you shouldn't go too far into Austria. It's very good advice. Yeah, I think we should keep it simple and then kind of hold our positions. And here we go, Villars being attacked, this time by a contingent of isn't this the what's it called? Germany. What is the correct terminology, or is this a smaller German state? Isn't this Imperial Germany? Let's take a look here. Not bad. 489. He's got 30,000 men. That is concerning. Karl von Bungen, definitely not an enemy we want to face. And apparently he's even got an eye patch, this guy's so tough. Okay, some movement over here. That's got me worried, but we can finally merge this general. We'll immediately try to take this this land that's been stolen from us, let's face it. And it looks like we might even have a battle in Valencia against the traidores, against the usurpers to the Spanish crown. We're just not going to allow that to happen. There we go. The Battle of Valencia. We've got more men, and the king himself is leading the attack. But we've got a determined enemy. Now that right there, my friends, that's a battle. And it looks like we actually lost here, unless, see, we're both Spain, technically. So I'm not entirely sure. We lost fewer men than he did. We killed a number of the enemy, 2,439 enemy soldiers killed there. Villarroel is fine, though. We didn't kill the general. We didn't kill any of the commanders. But talk about a serious battle. And there's actually an easy way to know if we won or not, and that's prisoners taken. So let's just take a look here. Looks like we both took prisoners. This is strange. Okay, let's call it a stalemate. That's interesting to say the least. Holy Roman Empire. There we go, Eric. I don't know why I kept forgetting. My goodness. Okay. This quarantine makes people weird, huh? All right. So immediately, I'm really worried about Petersburg being up there, but I really want to attack here because they keep getting these detachments from the Dutch, etc. We've got to shut down this port. So I'm going for a straight attack. With Desse, he can stay here. Currently besieging this area. I think that's probably not such a bad idea. Let's just keep him here. And we also want to keep on fighting Villarroel here. Now we've got Aguilar, so we can fight back a lot easier. I'm not going to do much there in terms of movement. What about up here? How have things really really change? Well, number one, we've got the Duke of Orleans ready to join our command. We want to make him as strong as possible here. Got the garrison of Paris, but they can't come along, unfortunately. We could, however, wait a few turns and bring some militia units in. Just some additional units from around the countryside, but I don't think we have time for that. So I am going to immediately push over here to Lille. This is one of our stronger areas. I definitely don't want to move Bedmar there. So we're taking that back. But look at that. Villeroy has driven a wedge here with his attack. And I think this is very important, being able to separate these parts of the Dutch coast. Now we can go in with Tilly, perhaps, and even wipe out some of these Dutch settlements. We could try to besiege Sluis over here. Looks like he can't get in there. Why's that? There we go. So maybe we'll just go to this fort first, St. Nicolas, and we'll keep Bedmar here as essentially a guard. As for Villeroy, I think we're going to build a depot, and we're going to stay put. Let's stay defensive. In fact, we'll keep a defensive posture here. And just pretty much hold this area. Nope, stay put. What's wrong with you? Stay put. As for over here, we've got Villars. We've gotten this guy on the run a few times. Villars is absolutely ready for another fight. And what did I tell you? Sure enough, Wilhelm is here, finally looking for a fight. You sneaky, sneaky little... Well, we'll leave it for another day. That being said, let's get a depot built. And Villars is probably going to have to deal with Wilhelm here. 36 days to get down here, or we lead the attack to the east into Baden, which is an area we desperately need to take. But that means crossing a river, and of course, as most of you know, crossing a river, not usually a very good strategic option. It's a tough situation. So for now, I'm going to leave him there because he keeps getting attacked. I think our best bet is the Netherlands, to really do some havoc here, and of course, in Hungary. This is another area where we can really do quite well. Now, he's still besieging the city of Bex, and I'm going to let him keep doing that because besieging the city is very important. This city itself is very important to the war effort. What I am going to do is I'm going to take Bercheny. I'm going to do something a little different. I'll move over here, I'll take this area, and I'm going to start building a supply depot there. In fact, if we want to get really crazy, we can move him over here. That could potentially force the enemy to attack us, and he's not going to get there that turn anyway. So for now, we'll just move Bercheny here. And this is what I'm worried about. These groups, these roving groups of Austrians. So I'm putting an end to that. Let's cut off these roads and prepare for a fight with Dekeja. I'm not sure how many men he's going to have, but we'll soon find out. A lot going on next turn. I am worried about good old King Philippe. He's not doing so well. You know what? In fact, I'm going to merge him with Aguilar here. But we're still not doing well against Villarroel. He still outnumbers us. That is a scary situation. He's not the most popular king in the world, in case you guys haven't figured that out yet. We could bring Tessa down to assist. Get rid of the threat of Villarroel, and I think that's really important. I think getting rid of the rebel threat is maybe more important even than stopping the landings here. Or, you know what? The one thing about AGEODS games, I feel, is I'm always second-guessing myself. Hey, P, how you doing, Meyer? Piri, good to see you, man. I'm always second-guessing myself in an AGEODS game. So, like, now I'm thinking we could cut them off here. Yeah, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's just hope that Philippe can hold Villarroel. The other option is to retreat. Or to bring Villadrias over here to the east, but that would take a very long time. So for now, we're just going to have to try to be happy with what we've done so far. Let's hope it was the right decision, of course. You can never know for sure in this game. And still, the reforms are locked. We could improve state administration. Gain of 10 engagement points. And we certainly have the money for it. So I'm going to spend the money to do it. We could pay for some additional recruits. We certainly need some additional recruits. Let's do it. But we don't want to spend too much of our money. We've already spent 2,000. And reinforcing the local noble or gentry will pretty much gain us our loyalty, you know, from the wealthier classes. Because, of course, they're trying to decide who do they really want to live under, the Habsburgs or the Bourbons. So if we give them something, they're going to enjoy that. But I don't think we're in a position to be really giving money out left and right. We've got to wait a bit. We've got to, of course, sack some cities, and then we can talk about that. Hell, we can even sell war supplies if we want to. All right, friends. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, some additional militia units. Let's bring the militia units over here. Oh, we don't want to forget about Berwick. Hold on, guys. We are moving into Genova. Can we move into Genova? There's a fort in the way, it's saying. It doesn't make sense. Well, for now, we'll get into Savoy here from the back. And over here, we'll, of course, build a supply depot. It looks like, oh, we already have a supply depot, so I'm going to leave Vendôme there to kind of recuperate. He needs it. And actually, I'll move this unit to Vendôme's command. All right. Ending the turn. Let's see how it goes. I will say, my only complaint about Wars of Succession so far is all AGEOD games have like a long in-between turn time, but this one has an especially long in-between turn time. I could almost make a cup of tea or coffee in this short time period, or long time period, I should say. I might just do that here in a minute. Make sure also, please, guys, to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification to get notified of any streams we do, especially when we have a situation like we just did where my first stream kind of crashed, so I restarted this one. Especially when you restart a stream that quickly, YouTube's not necessarily going to send out a notification unless you hit that bell. So I really do appreciate people doing that. And King Dingo says, now I want coffee. I've wanted coffee since the beginning of this stream, but I'm fighting through for you guys. I refuse to drink coffee right now. I did not see that, but that is very cool news, King Dingo. I have that and all the DLC. So King Dingo's let us know that currently Total War Shogun 2 is free on Steam. So make sure to check that out, guys. A very, very fun game, and I'm currently just for fun, by myself playing the Fall of the Samurai campaign. So as Sendai. So very, very good game. Hey, Robert Roberts. At long last, my request. What's that? You want to see a Shogun 2 Let's Play on the channel? Who would want to see a Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai Let's Play on the channel? See, the problem is that when we did like the Napoleon Total War Let's Play, the reason I really haven't done any episodes is 8 times out of 10 when we do a campaign on this channel, the first few episodes get a lot of views, the rest don't, and there's no real point in continuing a series if we're gonna have 1,000 views on video 1 and then 200 views on video 4. So if we do a series, we've got to make sure we stick with it. Is it the base game? I think it must just be the base game. There's no way they just give out the DLC for free, although that would be pretty cool. King Dingo understands me, or he may just be responding here to the Black Tiger. I think that was about the time I was working for Slytherin, Robert Roberts. So if you got a free key, I may have been the one that gave it to you. Eric Elder. Good old Eric Elder. He's been on the channel for a long time. And I hope, of course, everybody is staying safe during this awful, awful time, this coronavirus quarantine time. It's really boring, really boring. And that's coming from somebody whose job, aside from YouTube, I teach English lessons, is pretty much to sit on my ass all day anyway. So, yeah, it's I understand your pain. Even I hate it. I just want to go to a restaurant or a movie or just go outside, but can't do it, unfortunately. Eric, if you can get a YouTuber as large as Pixelated Apollo to face me in a multiplayer game, I'd be happy to, but unfortunately we haven't had that luck. Now, we have had the luck of playing with awesome other YouTubers like XTRG and Tortuga Power, folks kind of more in my subscription number, but that's another reason we need more subscribers. If we get some more subscribers, then we might just be able to get, of course, people like that to face me. So here, this is kind of weird. It's a Hungarian defeat, but we didn't lose any men. In fact, we killed the enemy's men, but it looks like Forgak just kind of retreated. A little sad, if you ask me, but we're finally seeing Peterburg, and I think he is ripe for an attack next turn. Yeah, well, I think we all could do that, Robert Roberts. I also have hypertension. I don't have diabetes or anything like that, but yeah, man, high blood pressure is definitely something to keep an eye on, and just try to eat better. Try not to eat outside. I think one good thing for me about oh, look at Marlborough and his massive force. One good thing for me about during this quarantine is that I don't know if you guys can hear me, so I'm just gonna let them fight it out. He's really giving him hell though, Vedmar. But pretty much I've had to cook my meals at home, and that's changed a lot of things. Okay, wow, a massive loss here, but you can see the losses on both sides were pretty significant. This was a bloody, bloody fight. Okay, Peterburg is actually coming back for a fight against Noel. I don't think Noel is prepared for this, but that is a stalemate, and what a vicious stalemate there. We lost 3,725 men. He lost 3,310, but we've got more men to finish him off. Of course, a lot of our army is currently busy, of course, facing that Spanish rebellion, so it's scary that he did that well despite being away from the port for so long. It looks like his supplies carried him through. So quite a lot of supply wagons there for old Earl of Peterborough. Geez, those losses, King Dingo says. Keep in mind though, Robert Roberts, I think you're misunderstanding the stats. Don't be too afraid, because I saw the same stats you did. Having hypertension and being diabetic does not mean your risk of death is 30%. What they do is that they take the people that have died and they find the comorbidities that they have. And I believe it's 30% of the people that have gotten this illness do have diabetes, and something like 18% are hypertensive. That does not mean that if you get COVID, that you have a 30% chance of dying. That's not at all what that means. A lot of other factors come into account. Number one, well, I don't know your age. That is a big issue. Your age is a big issue. But I've seen stories of athletes, track and field runners getting COVID-19. So it can really happen to anybody. They even had a study recently that smokers are less likely to get COVID-19. So it doesn't mean you should go up and start smoking, but that is true. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping by this stream. If you guys enjoy AGEODS streams like this, again, it's an ultra niche game, but I'd be more than willing to continue playing it. So make sure that you hit that like button, of course, after the video. Please drop a comment, even if you don't have much to say. And we'll do an episode 2 here in the future with AGEODS Age of Succession here. Wars of Succession, I should say. I like that Magrippa accent. Yeah, you're misreading the numbers totally. Don't worry, that's not at all the case. I think the overall death rate so far is 0.7%. That's like across everything, including people of all ages. So somebody that's below 40, their death rate is going to be low. It's going to be like 1 or 2%. No matter what your comorbidities will add a percentage point or two, but Not 30%. No, don't worry. Don't worry. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Yep, see you. There you go, Black Tiger. And by the way, I hope your mom gets much better. But see what he's saying? He's saying she's got mild symptoms, as most people get, and she also has diabetes and hypertension. So, and the reason I'm trying to console you is, for those of you that don't know, me, Agrippa, I'm a massive hypochondriac. I've got quite a bit of of anxiety problem. So I've also looked at that and been terrified. But once I understood the actual stats, it's not nearly that bad. Really isn't. You still don't want to get it, obviously, guys. So please do stay inside. The real danger is passing it to people with compromised immune systems that could really get sick. And just be careful. And do we have anarchists in? That can't be. No, that's just the rebel flag. Thank goodness. All right, folks. Thank you so much. I hope everybody's playing it safe. I really mean it. And I'll see you soon. Before we end, we'll take a look at casualties here, because me, myself, you might not be as morbid and creepy as I am, but I always like to take a look at the casualties. So, prisoners taken. So, we lost 11,195 men, but we also took 2,460 Grand Alliance prisoners, and they lost 12,470 men. For something a little over 15,000. So far, we're winning in terms of casualties. But this isn't really that kind of a war. It's not really a body count kind of war. That being said, just to make sure, I'll save, and maybe we'll come back to this in a future stream.